Okay, hi guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to something that is maybe a little bit different for this channel. This is going to be a discussion about my favorite headphones. And the headphones that you see in this case in front of you is not what you would expect. These headphones are the headphones I use more than any other headphones. Say headphones more times. $10,000 worth of IEM'S here, or maybe more. And I've got maybe $20,000 worth of audiophile headphones like the Utopias, the HD820s, HD800S, etc., and some older stuff as well. But this headphone inside this case is actually the headphones that I use more than any other headphone. What's this? So the Rubik's Cube is here for a purpose, and it's because this headphone I was listening to the first time I saw a Rubik's Cube as a kid. Still today, this is the headphone I listen to. It's the headphone that I learn my music on. It's the headphone that when I put on and I listen to it, it feels familiar. The sound just feels fantastic to me. It's just the perfect presentation of music. It's not the most detailed and it's not the most technically perfect, but it is without a doubt the most bang for buck, best value headphone in the world by some margin. I would listen to this headphone before I listen to say Hi-Fi Man HE400 SE or whatever, or if I listen to anything up to $300, this for me kicks their ass. This is so much pleasure is delivered from this. And it's not stock, so you're going to see like there's a lot of modifications on here, but I'm going to tell you what to do, and I'm going to leave the links in the description below so that you can do this modification yourself. Now, you do not need to do the modifications to enjoy this headphone. This is in its stock form. It's got a really bad cable, but it's still a wonderful sounding headphone. The modification levels of this to just get fantastic sound out of it, or even more fantastic sound out of it, is unbelievably simple. It's a no-brainer, and anyone can do it. If you want to do the modifications for comfort, then it's more a little bit more technical, but it's nothing you can't learn in 10 minutes and spend $10 on. So, can you take a guess what this is? Those that know that it is the famous Koss Porta Pro. Now, I'm sure all of you have seen this headphone before, but you've not seen mine. This is my Porta Pro in here, and it might look a little bit different than what you were expecting. So, if I unravel this, it is one of the stock colorways, and I will leave the links to the other ones. The one that I really like the look of, and I'll leave a link in the description below, is the rhythm beige colorway. I think that looks absolutely fantastic. But this, I think, is going to be familiar to a lot of people. So why am I talking about it? Why this headphone turns 40 next year, which means it was in development 40 years ago. It's still the headphone that I use above everything else. When I'm sitting in the hammock, when I'm chilling out, when I'm listening to music, when I'm reading a book, this is the one that I just pick up, casually throw on, and I don't think about analysing the music. I just get immersed in the music. You know, going back and listening to something like Incubus Drive or something was one that I remember listening to on this. And going back and listening, it invokes that memory, that warmth, that depth of presentation, and just how much I enjoyed the song as opposed to looking at music through the type of headphones that I was listening to. And that's something you can get lost in today. The other thing is that this headphone is testament to just what a waste of the hobby is, where something comes in, it doesn't... it does well for a short period of time. We all know the hype train. People jump on the hype train, and then that headphone's just going to disappear. You know that whatever's hot this year is not going to be hot next year, save for some of the ones where the companies actually stick around for a while. You know, like Sennheiser releases a headphone, they stick with it for 5 years. Do they feel the need to update it like in the way that some of the Chi-Fi stuff is doing, releasing new releases? No, that's just to get you to part with your music, and it's almost disposable headphones at this point. The other thing is that a lot of people that know anything about iPod or the older forums and stuff like that online, everybody used to be into modification to see who could push the boundaries of things like Super Luxes, Porta Pros, etc., etc. And I used to be big in that community with modifying Porta Pros and modifying the Forst XT 50RP, which was the sort of predecessor to sort of Mr. Speaker's earphones, headphones and stuff. But this one I think is a sort of everyman headphone that you can listen to. So how does it sound? It sounds open, it sounds airy, it sounds engaging, it's got hints of warmth on it, it's got surprisingly good bass performance for a headphone of this style. And that's just in its stock format. Now there's a whole bunch of modifications you can do to this. You can modify the pads here to give you a little bit extra comfort, but I think the one that's the biggest bang for buck, the biggest value, is these pads. These pads are called Yaxi pads. They come in all sorts of different colours, and I'll leave a link to the Yaxi pads in the description below. They cost like sort of between $10 and $20, but I think you can get deals on maybe 3 different colourways at a time if you buy multiple options. The ones that I put on here was the blue, because I wanted this look with the blue with the gold. But actually, in reality, I think I would just go back to black. The ones that I always had before were black, and the ones that I've noticed on is the discoloration just from sweat or whatever over time. Doesn't affect the performance, but I think it just makes them look a little bit grubbier, and the black would just look a lot cleaner. So once these Yaxi pads are done, I'm going to just switch back to black, and I think that's the colour I would use in the future. Now, obviously, you're going to see that I have a The-Audio cable. I've played around with a lot of cables. The stock cable on the Koss Porta Pro is trash. It's one of the ones that people from the 80s and 90s will be familiar with the cables on their headphones. But it's a very easy job to dismantle these headphones. You just pop off this little plastic piece, you pop off this tray on the back, unsolder the 2 pieces here, and solder on your new cable. You can get a soldering kit from like Dollar City or the dollar store for a few bucks. It comes with everything you need to do the soldering. And when you're done, you just line it back up, and it's a little bit fiddly, but oh, of course now I'm going to break them on camera. I've not got it lined up because I'm looking through the camera. The other thing is you can do headband modifications. You can take this headband. A lot of people complain about your hair getting stuck in this metal cable. I don't really have a problem with that. I've got short hair, but you can modify something like a KPH, the 40s or the 75 headbands fit in this, and it's just as simple as just popping it off and sticking it back on. You can fold it down. It clips on just like this. And even though I have a balanced cable connected in there, I also have the modification that you can just, that's the wrong connector. I've got the other connector somewhere else that goes into a 3.5 and a 4.4 millimeter balanced, and I use it like pretty much with the Thundry Honey H2, and I think it's an absolutely wonderful combo because this is such an open, wide, airy sounding amplifier that it just sounds fantastic. With the Yaxi pads on, this just sounds grander. It takes the drivers a little bit further away from your ears, and it sounds less congested and more open, more airy. Absolutely fantastic for rock music, classical, piano, things like that. Anything with a sort of air or intimacy to it, jazz music, live jazz recordings in a club and stuff like that are just absolutely wonderful. And guys, I can't stress this enough. If you are getting into the hobby, if you are somebody who just wants to go back and listen to something that is so simple and just go back to just enjoying your music, pick up a set of these. Just now, this is a day before, I think, Black Friday. Link in the description below. I think I saw the rhythm beige ones for $34. So $34, $10 for the Yaxi pads. You don't need to modify the cable. The cable does not affect the sound in any way. These headphones are easily driven out of almost any source. Well, every source that I've used doesn't sound any different. Just run it straight out your phone, straight out your DAP. You don't need to worry too much about it. It doesn't require extra power or anything. Remember, these were invented at a time where everything needed to be efficient. Nobody had external portable amps or portable DAPs and stuff like that. And honestly, this is the headphone that I use more than any other headphone. So if you feel like it, go check it out. Links in the description, and I'll see you on the next video.